welcome to What Am I Rolling, a twice-monthly RPG one-shot podcast, hosted by me, Fiona. This week, I'm joined by my friends James, Jane, Liz, and extra special guest GM Zach from the Realms of Peril and Glory podcast for Flabbergasted, a comedic tabletop role-playing game set in the Roaring Twenties. Published by the Wanderer's Tome, Flabbergasted is a rules-light and narrative-driven RPG, drawing inspiration from the likes of Jeeves and Wooster and Fawlty Towers. Set in the turn of the century, you'll take on the role of either an affable aristocrat, an entrepreneurial well-to-do, an idealistic Bohemian, or one of the ever-ready and steadfast staff. Together, players will join an up-and-coming social club, get invited to secret societies, and work towards leaving their mark in this world by cultivating their reputation. You can find out more information about Flabbergasted and grab your own copy on the Wanderer's Tome website. That's www.wanderers-tome.com. I'll add links to it on the What Am I Rolling website and in this episode's show notes. Zach does an incredible job of guiding us through Flabbergasted, talking us through the different protagonists, describing what scene cues do, what lucky coins are, and how to level up our characters, so I won't dwell on that too much here. The key thing to remember, though, is this. Every protagonist has the four following traits: bravado and persuasion, culture and etiquette, creativity and passion, and wit and sharp. When asked to make a check, the player must create a dice pool of d6s equal to the number of points they have in the related trait. Then roll it. For example, if you had 2 points in bravado and persuasion, you'd roll 2d6 when making a bravado and persuasion check. Rolling a 5 or a 6 counts as a success. 4 or below is a failure. The game's director will indicate how many successes are required in order for an action to be successful, with one success being a moderate challenge, all the way up to 3 successes being a daunting challenge. And that's it. That's all you need to know to play Flabbergasted. A massive thank you to Zach from Realms of Peril and Glory for running this wonderful game of Flabbergasted. Realms of Peril and Glory is an actual play podcast of big laughs and big heart. They jump from one setting to another and devour as many game systems as they can get their hands on. Realms of Peril and Glory is packed with gorgeous original music and glorious sound design that sweeps up listeners into stories of their incredible cast. As someone who loves a lot of different RPG systems and is a fan of gripping stories, I can highly recommend checking out Realms of Peril and Glory. They have something for everyone. Be sure to check out Realms of Peril and Glory on their website. That's www.realmspod.com or wherever you listen to podcasts. Naturally, there are times in this one-shot where the players and myself, mostly myself, get the rules wrong or forget something plot-wise. Whilst we always endeavour to stick to the rules wherever possible, at the end of the day, we all make mistakes, and what matters most is that everyone enjoys themselves. So, with all that out of the way, let's play Flabbergasted.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to What Am I Rolling? It's a fabulous podcast. Fabulous to be here. My name is Zachary Fortiscom, and you might know me from other shows like Realms of Peril and Glory. I'm on a Game of One's Own as well occasionally, and it's lovely to be here. I'm running a fabulous game called Flabbergasted, which is by Fleur and Chelsea Sciratino, and published by the Wanderer's Tome. It's a fabulous book that you should try and get your hands on. It's really sweet. It's a faux 1920s setting where we get to do a lot of comedy, a lot of cool, fun comedy times. But enough about me and enough about the game. I would love to introduce the 4 other fabulous people who are here with me today. Could you let the folks at home know who you are, what your pronouns are, and I guess where they can find you on the internet? I guess that's something that we can do. Let's start with Jane.
Cool, thank you. Hi, everybody at home. You probably don't know me, but, I'm Jane. During the day, I work for Rowan Rook and Deckard, the wonderful publishers of games like Heartspire and Honey Heist. but I do their accounting, so that's not very interesting. And
It is for someone, that tax man.
Ooh, I'd love to know. Tell me about the profit margins.
talk profit margins to me. Yes. But I do on occasion, slap some chaos on a page and call it a game as well. So you can find my games on itch.io at Jane Hermiston, and you can find me on the social media things at Jane Hermiston. My pronouns are they, them.
Fabulous. James, would you like to go next?
Hello, my name is James Barbarossa. I am a frequent player on Realms of Peril and Glory, but I also, am involved in other light and tragic projects like The Orphans, and I'm a composer as well.
A fancy lad with a fancy
I'm a fancy
name.
lad, and I'm a good friend of Zach's, and that's really what gets you in the door.
Improviser and role player. Liz, can you go next?
Yeah, hi, I'm Liz Campbell. My pronouns are she, her. I also followed Zach here like a stray puppy from Realms of Peril and Glory. I'm delighted to be on What Am I Rolling? What a great podcast. And I'm really delighted to be playing Flabbergasted because it looks great.
Yes. And now, the one, the only, Fiona!
Oh.
Whoa.
Hi guys, it's me. Hello. Yes, last but not least, my name is Fiona. I am the host of What Am I Rolling, which is a twice monthly RPG one-shot podcast. But if you like, I only prefer one particular RPG. I also co-host the DM's Book Club, where we look at some D&D lore and discuss how it might be made better, essentially. But we've also got the GM's Book Club, which should be coming out at some point. I've got a lot of editing to do. But yet again, I've managed to corral a different GM, an excellent GM, Zach, to come on and run the game for me, which is exciting. So I don't have to learn any rules, but I'm very looking forward to this. It's a beautiful book. The illustrations in it are incredible. And I love all the different archetypes, which I know we'll go into. So, take it away, Zach. I'm very excited.
Thank you. So let me tell you a little bit about the system before we get started. This is a D6 dice pool system. Our lovely players are looking for a 5 to 6 for a success, and depending on how good they are at various skills, they get more D6s to add to said pool. Our 4 stats that we are going to be working with are bravado and persuasion, culture and etiquette, wit and sharp, and creativity and passion. I feel like you get a general gist for what those are like in their names. They also have some cool skills, our players, that are called scene cues, that are different abilities that allow them to affect the story and the things happening in it in various different ways. I think you'll pick it up as you go along. There are a couple little things, but that's the brunt of the idea. We're just here to have a good time. So, without any further ado, let's kick into it. Peccadillo City already risen. This glimmering jewel of Western Europe is a sprawling metropolis of modern wonders for the distinguished traveler. History abound in the streets of Peccadillo Circle. See the grand history of archaeology, the arts, and even taxidermy in the many great museums of Peccadillo Circle. Party the night away with Monte Pike. They say the city never sleeps in this district. And stay for a life of luxury in the world-famous Coq de Monde Hotel, right at the heart of Welkin Heights. Everything you could possibly wish for and more in this city packed with conversation, culture, and class. The words of the famous Peccadillo tourism advertisements, heard all around the radios of the world, fade as the iconic statue of a golden rooster stood atop a shimmering gold globe comes into focus at the top of the Hotel Coq de Monde. Beyond this beautiful sight is the glimmering city of Peccadillo. A bustling town filled with all sorts from everywhere. In this city, just about anything is possible if you put your mind to it. You can rub shoulders with aristocrats or find the latest stories with the wonderful Bohemians in the playhouses of the city. But today we wander down the windows of the Hotel Coq de Monde. And as we zoom into one of the upper echelon windows of the city, we see a man dressed how, James?
Arkwright is a short and stocky gentleman with cropped red hair hidden under a bowler hat, a moustache, and square glasses.
And what are you doing to prepare for your day?
I suspect I am probably laying out a number of clothing options, fully under the understanding that those choices will be ignored. And probably, just sort of tidying the room from whatever happened on the night before and collecting, the milk and the newspaper for the Lady Pebble Dash.
The phone rings as you are preparing things for the day. There's a very analog, literal bell ring from the rotary phone.
I shall answer it.
Hello, housekeeping.
Hello. Yes, this is Miss Pebble Dash's room.
Fabulous. Are you looking for a clean today? Are you wanting the room turned over?
No. Don't worry. I shall take care of all that. Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
May I ask, you've been staying for rather quite a while now. Are you intending to vacate the room, move to a different room? Is there an exit date at any point for
I shall endeavor to keep you informed of the evolving situation.
Fabulous.
Yes.
And you are aware that the room is running at about 50 readies a day?
This is something I have made apparent to my employer. And once again, I shall endeavor to keep you up to the minute once those decisions have been made.
Fabulous. Are you wanting breakfast this morning?
It's honestly hard to say, but let's be safe and say yes.
Fabulous. We'll bring it straight up.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
And how do you, could you describe for me your demeanor as you're about to, let's say, begin your interactions with your employer for the day?
I think Arkwright, I've taken the unflappable scene cue, and thus I probably am fully dissociated with the realities of what's about to take place, and is just trying to keep a level head so as to remain on top of whatever takes place.
Good. As you push open the immaculate French double doors into the large suite where your employer resides, Liz, could you describe to me what you, Lady Pebble Dash, are doing this morning?
Well, let's begin with the fact that lady is certainly a bit of an overstatement. Miss Dora Pebbledash is a young woman, about 25, short, cropped strawberry blonde hair and the kind of latest 20s wavy bob. She's currently wearing a extremely loud silk robe, one of those wonderful kind of...
Yes.
Yes, you know what I'm talking about. Reclining on a chaise longue with a giant newspaper kind of half-heartedly open in front of her. She's wearing the kind of ridiculous silk turban that she's clearly slept in, lounging. And as soon as she sees Arkwright come in, she drops the paper and her face lights up. Arkwright, you simply have to tell me. Now I've had a thought.
Yes.
Do bus drivers make a lot of money?
Define a lot.
Well, I'm just thinking, look, obviously Daddy's got some conditions, which is perfectly his prerogative. He's a very important man, I'm sure. But I just thought I could drive a bus. I mean, how hard could it be? I mean, you just get in the bus and you go around and around. And I mean, I think it'd be fabulous, don't you think? And I mean, surely that must pay pretty well. I mean, many people take the bus. I've never taken the bus, but I've never taken the bus personally. But if you look out the window, you can see, look at all these people. Look at all these people taking the bus. They must be making a fortune.
Well, you see, I have highlighted a number of errors in a potential strategy of this form. Number one would be that you'd have to learn to drive a bus, which would take considerable time and concentration. And in comparison to perhaps what you are accustomed to, have you met many bus drivers staying at the Coq du Monde?
Arkwright, darling, I've always considered myself a woman of the people.
Certainly.
And I just feel, well, I've not personally met any bus drivers. I just know that if I had, then we'd get along like a house on fire. Tell me, Arkwright, do you always have to drive the bus in the same route? Or, like, if you get bored, can you just kind of go wherever you want?
No, I think they encourage a certain rigidness with your driving practices.
That's dreadfully dull. I mean, surely some people might want to see the sights one day, just have a little drive around.
The improvisational approach is not encouraged, madam.
Oh, well, never mind. You're always very sensible, Arkwright. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry to be a naysayer, madam, but...
The phone in the suite does ring again for a second time this morning.
I'll answer it.
Yes, I think Dora just tilts her head towards it and looks, waiting for
Yes, it's
Arkwright to
making
get
that
it.
frustrating noise that it makes again.
It's like right next to you, though.
It's arm's reach, 100%.
I
Arkwright has
walk
to
across the room and pick it up.
You hear the receptionist of the Coq du Monde say, sir, we have a Mr. Pebbledash on the line.
Ms. One second. Ms. Pebbledash.
You can call me Dora, Arkwright. It's so cute that you don't, though.
It is Mr. Pebbledash on the line.
Daddy?
Daddy! Sorry.
I grabbed the phone right out of Arkwright's hand.
Okay, well...
I'll put you right through, ma'am. And you hear like a series of clicks. There's like somewhere surely in this building, many probably men and women are just unplugging and reconnecting manual wires into various switches. And you hear the crackly voice of your father come over the line of, hello, darling. How are you doing?
Oh, Daddy, it's so nice to hear from you.
Oh, it's lovely to hear your voice. How are you doing?
I'm having a great time. Just, stuff.
No, we've been very busy and we've been missing you dearly, but I wanted to see how everything was going. I was wondering, are we going to see you anytime soon?
It's 4 in the morning over there. What are they...
I cover the, receiver. Daddy's very important. He's up all the time.
Right, sorry.
Sorry, Daddy. That's... Oh, you'll never guess. You'll never guess what I have. Listen to this. Arkwright, make a noise. Make a noise, Arkwright. Make that noise you make. It's very funny. Make that noise you make when you go, you shouldn't be doing that. Oh. Did you hear that, Daddy? Yes.
And he makes that all the time.
He makes that all the time. No, Daddy, I got off of the boat, you see. I got off the boat. And I asked, there was this guy there. He was in the most fancy suit. And I said, sir, you look just simply divine. Tell me what your secret is. And he said, all the best people have their own. I think he said valet, but I'm pretty sure he meant a valet. So anyway, I got myself one.
Valet.
Everyone kept saying, ladies don't have them. But guess what? Arkwright turned up anyway. Isn't that right, Arkwright? Make the noise again. Make it again.
The valets drive cars to park the cars for people.
Isn't he just
Gosh,
precious?
he's a laugh riot. Those those Europeans, they are just a riot, aren't they? Well, I just wanted to ask, because I've received a bill for quite a lot of readies in the post, and it says you're staying at some sort of hotel, and they've been told to build a company.
Well, Daddy, you know what they say. You can't waste time without wasting money.
I'm just it's 50 readies a day. That's...
But isn't that just enough for your precious little girl?
Oh.
We're going to do our first roll of the game.
Of course we are.
Do the bravado and persuasion one, I
Right.
think.
Well, that I've got 4 points in, so I've got the dice pool
Daddy's
of
girl.
4. Yes. And looking for... That's 1, 5, and 1, 6, so that's 2 successes.
2 successes. Amazing. Oh, no, you're just right there, little girl. Little girl, you are right. Well, look, we'd love to hear from you more. Tell us all about your fabulous European adventures.
Oh, I will, Daddy. Don't you worry. I don't suppose you haven't heard from Archibald at any point, have you?
No, I've not.
Oh no, good. That's fine. No, if he doesn't want
Should
to,
I have?
no, it's really you know what? He is also very busy and important, and I just don't want to get in his hair. So if he just disappears, kind of forever, that's fine.
All
You know,
right, okay.
the wedding can be like, you know, a couple months, years, whenever, I guess, really, or like never, or I mean, it could be. I love you, Daddy.
I love you too, kiddo. I'll check in with him.
Oh, did you? Again, you don't have to. I was just wondering. A kiss, kiss, bye.
Click.
Arkwright, guess who that was?
Was it perhaps your father?
Oh my God, yes.
These games we play. I would like to take the opportunity to, while she is on the phone, see if there's anything in the newspaper that's going to be...
Well, let's... first thing that you do, you snatch that newspaper and you spy the headline of... The first thing that catches your eye is the photo of one Lord Sanjay Wrigley, who you would know to be the head of... this little organization, the RSPB, the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds, and he is beaming with a little trophy, and it says, "Thousands raised. The 42nd annual Right Great and Magnificent Bird Watching Jamboree begins today."
I'm going to fold the newspaper and put it somewhere that Pebble Dash won't think to look at.
It's under those clothes that you've laid out that I definitely
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you've helpfully laid out. So Lady Pebble Dash, how are you getting on with your day?
Oh, lethargically.
Madam, would you like breakfast? The hotel has inquired again.
Ooh.
As you say that, room service bursts into the room, where you see gorgeous bacon, scrambled eggs, pancakes, but they're like thin, and you don't understand why. You know, there's sausage and beans and all the expected things, but also laid out is a newspaper for you to read. And the first thing that you spot is a beaming picture of, I don't know if he's your arch rival or what, but Lord Sanjay Wrigley, who is the head of the RSPB.
Dora picks up the paper and I assume fancy crepe. Just opens it for a second, looks, quietly folds it back up, and then shrieks and throws it at Arkwright.
Arkwright's gonna turn to the like whoever is the servant for room service and just go, "Frank, we
talked about this.
Come on, man."
Sorry, sir. It's just the typical arrangement for the day.
She reads things. Like, for the love of God, man, have mercy.
Just to be clear, you threw the newspaper and not your crepe. Is that... I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
first the newspaper, then the crepe.
Okay.
Good.
My flaw is boisterous, if we want to bring this to the mechanics. My flaw is boisterous.
Love it.
So. The neighbors hate me.
What is it that you have read, Ms. Pebble Dash?
That man again.
Oh.
That man, you know the man.
Oh, the man.
Oh, the man.
that man. Always making an interesting day for us.
Look, I'm just saying, if I'm going to be one of the world's top orangethologists, which I assume make a lot of money, then
Well-
I can't have this man winning whatever trophy I didn't even enter to win. I take that as a direct violation of me and my personal space.
I take it I shall be calling the spotters.
Arkwright,
Yes.
I'm sorry I threw things at you.
Oh God! That's okay. I forgive you. I'm going to call the spotters now.
Oh, thank you, darling Arkwright. I'm going to eat this delicious crepe.
Great,
Incredible. I presume you get to work ringing up the spotters.
Yes.
Fabulous. We are going to then go to the glorious streets of Pecado Circle with the enormous statue of a golden bronze brass rooster atop a wonderfully detailed rendering of the moon in these ivy-covered homes where nary a person seems to live for some reason. Many grand estates owned by various trusts and various different museums and other fine organizations, for this is a very wealthy area in which to live. And yet, we glide through one of the gorgeously ornate windows to find who, Jane?
We find the Duchess Anne Figgy Fitzroy, who has just come in from the garden that somehow she owns in this this magically expensive place.
At least an acre.
At least an acre. There is a horse. Implausibly, there is definitely a horse.
What, in the house or in the garden?
In the garden. In the garden. You know,
Okay.
the horse only comes inside when it's cold. Chester is a very well-behaved horse.
Chester.
Good. So she's come in from the garden. She's dressed in a lot of tweed. She's dressed in a month's salary worth of tweed. And she's holding a rake in that way that only people who are super rich can just go out and rake their own garden. Yeah.
Yeah. You walk in, and on this meticulously carved, and it's almost a piece of art in itself, this table, this enormous table set for 20 or something. There is this silver platter with your breakfast all set out for you. It's up to you what that breakfast is. But on the tray is also a little note that says, call for you, Mom, and the phone set next to it with the
The receiver's already off.
The receiver already off.
They've been waiting for like 20 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, muesli again. I'll just sit down. Oh, what's this? There's a note. Someone has left me a note. Call for me. Oh. She picks up the rest. Hello, I say. Is there anybody there? Is this these new contraptions? I'm not quite sure. Is this the right end? Can anyone hear me?
So on the other end of the line is Arkwright. Arkwright, you have been waiting with the sounds of this manor kind of creaking around. Solid 30 minutes.
I should have sent a telegram. Your ladyship, it's Arkwright here for Miss Pebbledash.
Who? Oh, Miss Pebbledash. Yes, wonderful, capital, lovely. How are you, dear?
Yes. No. Okay. So it's Arkwright. It's her valet, her manservant. I'm calling on behalf of Miss Pebbledash.
I see. And.
Well, so you see, there has been we're calling a meeting of the spotters today, an impromptu one. There's a somewhat of a jamboree afoot, bird watching and the like, and I've been informed to ring around for.
Arkwright, tell her that it's about that man again.
Okay, so it's about Lord Wrigley, again, and Wrigley's up to his old tricks of doing a charity.
Have
I believe.
I told you, Mr. Arkwright Valet, about the thing that Wrigley did to me at the bridge club?
No.
No, well, I will tell you. I will tell you in good time.
Oh.
Yes.
Good.
I will. I will be there for the bird swatting and this jamboree.
Is the good time in the future, or?
Yes. As soon as we get to the
Excellent.
Jamboree, I will tell you. Unless you want to talk now on the contraption.
No. Typically, no. I must. Unfortunately, I'm afraid I must. I'm afraid I must call through to the Lady Chisholm and ensure that all the members of the spotters are in attendance for what will no doubt be a topper day.
It will be. Good ho, young chap. You have a very, very good attitude, I think. It will be a topper day, as you young people say.
Yes. Well, in that case, the Ms. Pebbledash sends her regards, and we look forward to seeing you.
Yes. I will see you soon, Dora, and then just walks off with the phone.
That's not. You have to hang up the.
No.
Hello. Is anyone there?
Chester, let's go.
But as you do that, you do hear like the quietest set of footsteps approach, and then hang up the phone.
That'll be Friedrich. Stalwart friend.
Would you like to ring on to the Lady Chisholm?
Yes, I'll ring on to Ms. Chisholm. She's presumably not a lady.
We will move ourselves over to Farrago Way, which is a altogether more bohemian area of Peccadillo. A quiet residential area, it would seem, on the front of things, until you see the many playhouses and concert venues all propped up with makeshift assemblage and spray-painted and painted signs for the latest play by the latest unknown playwright, and the latest performance by that singer you've never quite heard of before. And yet there is vibrancy in the life here in Farrago Way, amongst the coffee shops and the delicious pastries made by some of the most artisanal bakers in the city. And as we glide through the streets, we hear a distinctive ding, 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 almost as if a wrestling competition were about to begin as we enter the Bellway Brothers boxing arena, where several different chaps are bouncing back and forth on a boxing ring and beginning to swing at one another. And with that rhythmic beating of the various different instruments, one could say, we glide to the flat above this boxing ring, the home of one Melanie Chisholm, or Mel C. Fiona, could you introduce us to Melanie?
Absolutely. So as we sort of pan up into probably a broken, maybe cracked window, it is very sparse, except the whole room is covered in sheet music and paper. A very small cot, maybe some odds and ends perhaps, but more importantly is a piano. We don't know how the piano got up the stairs, but it is here now. And you can just see Melanie sort of like, again, as is the way, very short, cropped hair, maybe a bit of finger waves perhaps as she's sort of getting ready, because she looks the part. Wearing sort of a pantsuit, very sort of, she's just there tapping one key, constantly going, if you can't dance, if you can't dance, if you can't dance.
Holy fuck.
If you can't dance, you can't do nothing for me, baby. And then I write
God,
it down.
what a deep Spice Girls cut as well. Wow. Like, you didn't even go for, like, wannabe.
No, I've got a lot of lists of lyrics up here ready for any moment. I'm just like,
Fantastic.
This is the commitment I respect.
I'll just do that. I'll do that several verses. Yeah, perfect. I'll be great for it later. And I go, great, job done.
Incredible. As you're kind of getting ready for the day, what is your usual routine like in this house? What do you do on a day-to-day basis? Because you're not a overly wealthy person like the rest of our players and Arkwright.
Yeah.
So what does your day-to-day look like?
Yeah, sure. So I would be probably up quite early because presumably the noises from downstairs are quite loud, but I don't mind that at all. In fact, I use, as we were sort of saying, the inspirations of various sort of rhythmic patterns happening, and sometimes I try to accompany them at the beginning. I got told off for doing like Keystone Cops, like diddly-dee, diddly-dee, dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. That got too much.
Yeah.
But then I probably would have various sort of clients. I'd go around to their houses to teach their young children and whatnot, and then maybe sort of impress on them. I do commissions for various parties, being very aware that since graduating from whatever school, that a lot of my peers have had showcases and concerts, and none of mine have really picked up for whatever reason. And I that's okay. It's all for the love of the music and stuff, but things are getting quite thin, and I'm tired of living above a smelly boxing ring, to be honest. Naturally, but I don't mind. It's all part of the experience of it, if you see what I mean.
Of course. You do have a little phone that rings quite frequently with various different requests for students and teachers and various different people. This time it does ring again, loud and piercing, this phone is.
Can't do nothing for me. Oh! Hello, Melanie C. Musical Hall.
Arkwright is not on the other end of the phone this time. Instead, it is a man called Arthur Hastings, who you know to be the proprietor of one of the local concert halls.
Oh, Mr. Hastings, that's so good to hear your breathing down the phone. How are you?
Yeah, good to hear from you. Look, we're looking to book a show for tonight.
Oh, tonight, of course, darling. What do we want? Do we want something soulful? I've got my two become
Look,
one.
I've got 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Okay,
Yeah.
great. What's the vibe you're looking for? I can do emotional.
Music.
Just music, Mr.
Music's
Hastings.
pretty good, yeah.
Okay. What kind of instruments? Obviously, I need a piano. Is there a singer you need?
Yeah, we've got piano, got,
Yeah.
what have we got? Got a guitar. It's broken, though, so you
Okay.
have to bring your own stuff. Piano's out of tune.
Okay. I'm sure I've played on many out-of-tune pianos before. It turns out it actually adds to the ambience, you see.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, sure. Can I ask, in terms of the wire going round my head as I'm trying to grab various sheet music? Can I ask, payment-wise, what are we?
5 readies and tips.
5 readies and tips. Just Mr. Hastings, I appreciate that, but I wondered, as my music is sort of. How do we say? It's home tune. I will do something very special for your audiences. Maybe we can make it up to 15 readies, if that's okay.
We'll do 6.
Ooh, you drive a hard bargain, Mr. Hastings. 10?
6.
Oh, 6 it is. Oh, you bottom me down. Don't worry. Well, I'm sure I can get something for you, Mr. Hastings. What time? And I'll take the details of the
It
concert.
will be at around 5 p.m. that your slot is.
5 p.m. That's not an evening slot. That's a. Is that what kind of clientele? It's not the children's show again, is it, Mr. Hastings?
No. This time it's the old codgers. Got an early one, haven't they?
Okay, well, old codgers I can do. The children last time were pretty brutal about certain bits of music, I'll be honest. Who knew they...
You wonder why we haven't brought you in.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I mean...
Scathing those reviews were.
I mean, I didn't know they could write and review in a local newspaper.
And they got it in the paper. Oh.
Oh, the brightest of our generation. But it's all right. I've got a whole songbook, and by this time I've created something, like a whole set list of. It's all out of order. Then I'm like, yes, Mr. Hastings, I'll be right there. Not a problem.
All right, we'll see you later.
Ciao. Smile, Mel. It's all right. Smile.
Work is work.
Work is work.
Your phone rings again.
Mr. Hastings, I obviously will take the job. Don't worry. I just wanted to check.
And on the other end is Arkwright.
Okay.
Ms. Chisholm.
Yes. Hello.
It's Arkwright.
Arkwright.
For Pebble Dash.
Pebble Dash. Oh, great. Did she think more about that commission we were talking about at the last party? Like,
I
I'm very
shall
happy to do an intro music, maybe a couple of stings, probably if she's descending from the staircase, anything she wants, I'm happy to do it.
Yes.
Yes.
No, hold on. I said I shall endeavour to keep you up to date with any potential situations that we think that if you want to be my lover will be an appropriate track piece for. But no, I'm afraid I'm afraid that's not why I'm calling. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, how are you?
Oh, I mean, I'm quite well.
Right! You just hear
Yeah,
another
sorry.
smashing and a shriek.
It's business, I'm afraid.
Oh, okay, sure.
We're calling an impromptu meeting of the spotters.
Oh, gosh.
There's a competition. A jamboree, a bird watching jamboree,
sorry.
I'm afraid.
Yes.
I wish. It would be less messy for me. There's a bird watching jamboree.
Right.
I'm afraid Lord Wrigley will be in attendance.
Lord Sanjay, yes. Okay.
Yes.
More sounds of plate smashing in the background.
Yes, Ms. Pebbledash is incensed at the situation, and
Gosh. Well, I'm sure I can come over and bring some of my soothing songs, I guess.
Please
she does
do.
What does she like? Does she like Sounds of the Underground? That seemed to go down really well last time.
yes,
Great. I'll put that in the set list.
yes. I've heard that I've heard that new piece you're working on. If you can't dance,
Yeah.
that
you can't dance.
That might well really soothe her. Just
great.
anything you think you can do. She's
Yes, of
in
course.
quite the state.
Right.
Yes, but I'm calling around. I have already contacted the Duchess Fitzroy and.
Oh, Figgy. Oh, excellent. Oh, well, I've got her commission as well. I've got that all ready to
Great.
go. Great.
Brilliant.
Great. I'll be right over. And Arkwright,
Yeah.
I don't suppose you could put in a good word for Miss Pebbledash about the composition. Like, I know with the last society
Musically.
and stuff. Yes, musically, because I'm inspired when we're there and we're seeing all the birds and stuff, and I know the visuals of it good, but I'm here about the music and the songs, and I just really,
I know.
her patronage would be super.
Yeah.
I mean, Figgy is still on the fence about stuff, so it'd be really great to have a patron just to help me.
Mel, I promise I shall do my best.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Well, ta-ta.
Yeah, ta-ta.
Ta-ta. Selling myself out over the phone to someone who knows.
Truly.
Okay.
Fantastic. So you get yourself ready, and where do you all meet? Do you want to meet at the Jamboree, or do you want to combine at the Coq de Monde? What's the vibe here?
Maybe our ostensible clubhouse is just a fancy cafe somewhere.
Lovely.
Keep saying meet at the clubhouse. Maybe go and...
The Coq du Jour Cafe.
Ah, yes.
Coq de Jour Cafe. Yes, the Coq de Jour
All the
Cafe
cocks.
in the middle of Welkin Heights, right in the city center. You see, all these different very rudimentary motor vehicles passing by, a tram driving through, the ding 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 of it as it rolls past, and many different people walking through the streets, all dressed in suitably glorious fashions of the day. You see ascots and caps and long flowing dresses. It's beautiful. And in the window of Coq de Jour are an assembly of some of the finest pastries imported by the pastry chef from around Europe. Of course, this is the dining spot of the more well-off, as many of these items cost well above fair market price for their perhaps less quality equivalents available elsewhere in the city. But you do still all gather at a table in the Coq de Jour.
Dora has changed into a very resplendent outfit, palazzo pants, lots of bangles. Definitely not one of the outfits that Arkwright laid out. He keeps starching my collars, and I don't understand why.
So, as you all arrive, what are you doing? Are you getting anything from the cafe?
I probably won't, but if Jane doesn't mind, if I catch Figgy going on the way in, I'm like, oh, Figgy, hey, here it is, and I hand over the song, and it goes, okay, so it goes, at the top bit it goes, la 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 la, and you sing that constantly, and then eventually you get to this bit, but yeah, and at the top you see it scroll, it says, spice up your life.
Good.
Oh, well, it sounds quite lovely, but I have to admit, I don't really understand this modern music. I mean, it's not quite Gilbert and Sullivan, though. I did quite like that Fig song that you had the other week.
Fig yes.
Perhaps if we could revisit that one, I thought that was quite neat, really.
Oh. Well, of course. I've left the original at home, but I'll get out some more sheet music as we go in to try and desperately remember Fig to give to Figgy.
Figgy, Mel, Figgy, over here. Every other patron in the cafe just turns in violent hatred.
But where's the spread? Where's the food?
Arkwright, darling.
Yes, I presume I shall be taking orders.
He's such a good boy. Thank you.
Yes. Ms. Chisholm, what would you request today?
Oh, and I look and I can see how expensive everything is, and I'm just like, you know what? Just water for the table, if that's okay. I ate earlier.
I mean, I shall presume that we shall be. I would presume that we would be invoicing the Duchess for lunch as per usual.
Just put it on my tab. Somebody apparently will pay my tab, maybe.
There's a French pastry chef with like the curly mustache that's just like across the way. It's like, of course, madame, we will put it on your very large, very expensive tab.
The tab, it extends 50 years. It's
oh my
it's
gosh.
been going for 50 years one day.
Yeah.
Well, Lord knows she's good for it. So.
Oh well, in that case, then I'll just select like some very small but little, whatever the sliders equivalent of pastries are.
May I suggest something?
Please.
You see macarons, and you think they're tiny.
They're tiny.
They can't be expensive.
Yes, I'll just have one of those.
Fabulous 10 readies.
Hot. But
Oh, well, yes, no, wonderful. We'll get some for the table. 10 readies.
Very popular these days.
Yes. Right, so you are all sat in the coq de jour, and the weight of the name Lord Sanjay Wrigley weighs upon you.
I snap a macaron in half.
oh god, this is like snapping money in half.
Those are you're to eat to them, miss.
Oh, no, I ate before, Arkwright. You saw.
What?
Yeah, I know, Arkwright, that you were wanting me to tell you about my story, my deep history with Wrigley, but it's going to have to...
I thought we'd save it for the jamboree.
Well, good, because it is going to have to wait for later, because we have some more important things to do. But I promise I have heard you, and I will come back and I will tell you about it.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
But Dora, dear, Dora, dear, Puddledum, I did hear that you had a run-in with him. Or you saw him this morning.
I did see him this morning.
Oh.
And I whip out with great grandiosity the newspaper and put it on the table.
Oh.
I now call to order a session of the RSPA, the Rueful Spotters of Pretty Avians.
And I go, oh, I didn't realise that horse had run. And then I assume Arkwright turns over the newspaper and I go,
I'm afraid it's Lord Wrigley once again.
Members of the RSPA, I don't think this kind of malarkey, I've said it, can stand.
But it's some sort of they're raising thousands of readies for some sort of competition.
Malarkey.
Oh no, it won't do, especially after last time.
No,
No.
let's not even talk about last time.
We cut to what?
No, please let's not talk about last time.
Fiona, tell me what we
Sure.
cut to.
Sure, I will. There are scenes happening. Various birds. We've been kicked out of Greenwich Park. I am trying to cheer people up by playing "Tell My Ma" on the piano. So like, "Tell my ma when I go home, the boys won't leave the girls alone." I'm trying to get everyone out essentially.
There's
but-
like woodpeckers attacking your
Yeah.
instrument. Yeah.
Yes,
Exactly.
the music is overrun by the squawking of a pigeon that is somehow painted blue, being manhandled in the background. Just
Yeah.
chaos.
yeah, and we're just not allowed back in this park ever again.
It seems
No.
to be enraging the birds, Miss Chisholm.
I'm trying to get to the she's the belle of Dublin City. That's what it-
We flashback.
Yeah, that wasn't my best song, I'll be honest.
No, darling, no, do not take this upon yourself. That was all Wrigley. That's just what he does.
Yes.
It was all his
Yes,
fault.
no, you're right, sorry. Mhm.
He wound those birds up.
Something about it just taps into their primal fury. It's really uncanny.
True, Arkmite. Yes.
Yes, quite right.
So you all read in the news article that today is the 42nd annual Right Great and Magnificent Birdwatching Jamboree. They're raising, it's a fundraising effort. You have to pay some readies to join, but there is an ultimate prize fund of about 150 readies.
Well, respected members, I think that there's only one thing for it. Clearly, we have to win this little competition that they've made and show them who the real orange ornithologists are. Yeah.
Quite right.
Could not have said it better myself.
Yeah, me
Tally
neither.
ho.
Seems as if the spirit is more of a charitable cooperation than a
No.
fearsome competition.
Winners.
And thus they shall be
Winners,
caught
Arkra.
by surprise by your commitment to steady victory.
Yes, no. We're just like totally on the same wavelength, art right, and we're just really simpatico. And I like having you around. You got a cool mustache and it's just good. You make that noise.
It's also my job, and I'm paid to be here.
Oh, but we're definitely friends, and I know you'd be here if I didn't pay you, right?
Well, this jamboree seems
keep
to
you
be
updated with
I shall endeavour to keep you up to date on the.
It's quickly becoming your character's catchphrase. Like, that's the thing you say in every episode.
I'll
Yeah.
keep you updated. So, does it say anything about what the rules of this competition is? Obviously, we have to give money to enter, and there's obviously money. But I mean, what? I mean, knowing the PCB, they're gonna. That's not what it is.
It is the RSPA.
RSP.
You're the RSPA.
We're the
they're
No,
the
sorry.
RSPB.
Wait, the
They're
RSPB.
The society have clearly put on their own rules and stuff. So whatever we do, we're gonna have to find some way to undermine them because, well, they'll have fixed it in some way. I remember. Like, think about last time.
/2. Jane, tell me what we're seeing.
I think this time the equivalent of Hyde Park, and with the four of us, well, three of us enthusiastically, Arkwright less enthusiastically, running around with like enormous butterfly nets, just sort of chasing after birds we have no hope of catching, but just sort of like essentially jumping at leaves, trying to catch them in these nets. And
It's a pelican. It's a full pelican.
oh yeah,
Definitely catching Arkwright in one of them as well. Like,
yes,
oh, sorry.
yes.
I shouldn't have dressed in such bright clothing. It's distracting, I know.
Flashback to now.
Yes, you're right. If we know the rules, and we'll know how to cheat.
Excellent.
It says here that you have to take photographs of the birds.
Photographs?
Yes.
I don't have my easel on me. Can I pop back and get it?
I suspect they are talking about pictographs, madam. Photography, the new art.
Oh, what will they think of next? Silly.
Shudder to think.
I don't know. I might know a couple of folks that might have some spare photographer man stuff that I could check out. But we probably want one for each of us, correct? Just in case we split up like before.
Yeah.
Well, goodness,
So-
I mean, something like that can't be that expensive, right?
150 ready. No. It's not
Take
that
it
much.
take it out on a loan.
Each camera, brand new, will cost you about, I'm gonna say 40 readies.
That's my wages.
We have to pay. Wait, sorry. We have to pay. We have to pay for this. Usually, you pay the person doing the portrait. Wait, I don't understand. I don't understand. This is too hard. You sort it out. I just put it on my
Figgy,
tab.
darling, consider it an investment in our future.
I believe in this instant we are the ones doing the portrait, and therefore we must invest in the necessary equipment
Right.
to do so.
Well, I could look through some of my contacts, and I do have a scene queue which says "friends in low places."
Oh, good. Yeah.
Mechanics, yes.
So I'll read it out. So, in your pursuit of art, you enjoy the company of all manner of people, even those who are deemed unsavory. If you ever need help with something not entirely legal, you know exactly who will help you. And then I assume I roll for it, but then it's plus scandal, whatever that means. So I guess if I use it,
You're adding to, so you have a score
Mm-hmm.
of dignity versus scandal, and you accrue a reputation as you go on in this game of, whether you're dignified or you're scandalous. So I believe you begin with a neutral.
I believe so. Yes.
So you would add a point of scandal. Would you like to see what you can do?
Yes, I would like to do that. So that we point of scandal.
How are you going about this? So what I'll say is the best avenue for you all to gain that little bit of extra information is that the list of which birds you are meant to spot is kept secret. So you may want to find a way of accessing that list.
So, well, I guess, I mean, we could always, as Lady Dora said, we could always cheat by taking other people's cameras as they take pictures of said birds.
Daddy
Or-
calls it smart business.
Well, I mean, I guess I can see if my friends are able to purchase cameras, or if I can see if they can get us a list of the birds. What do the spotters think?
I mean, money buys cameras. Money doesn't necessarily buy a list of birds.
Okay, right. Well, I'll be but a moment, and I will go out of this very fancy place. I'll go down the road to
The only alley in the neighborhood.
Yeah, somehow there's there are no fluorescent lights in this time, but there's a flickering light. It's covered over. It's dingy. It's like you step out of the alley and it's bright daytime. You step into the alley, suddenly it's nighttime.
It's
You're not
dark.
really sure how it works, but it does.
Sure, I'll go to, let's say, the Red Lion, and I'll see if my old flame Cassius is around.
Ooh, Cassius. Yeah, you spy Cassius at the Red Lion. Describe what Cassius looks like.
Let's say he is a Dorito of a man. So legs and then upside down triangle.
Good.
But it's a very tight shirt, almost like the Umbrella Academy, the number one person, and then a very small head. And I just go, damn. And then I'll go in and sort of like wait next to the bar. Maybe if there's a piano, start playing like ding, like a tune. I'll play two become one, our song.
I'm going to say Cassius, if it's okay with you, is a fine gentleman who emigrated over here from Texas.
Of course.
And kind of, you see him as you're playing Two Become One. Copyright is a thing we should not infringe.
Haven't finished the song yet. But,
None, yeah. And you see, like, his eyes prick up from across the bar, and they say, well, darn tootin', who have we found over here?
Hello, Cassius. I didn't realize you'd be here as well.
It's fine seeing you, little miss.
It is what it is. Tell me, and I'll have taken the newspaper with me, and I said, do you know anything of this little jamboree that's happening later today?
Oh, yeah, them bird watchers. I might have heard a little bit here or there. What you looking for?
Oh, well, you know me, Cassius. I love birds so much. I just would really love to know what their top picks are, essentially, because, well...
Oh, trying to sneak a little intelligence, get ahead of the game.
No. It's for my good friend Lady Pebbledash and the Duchess Fig. We are
they paying?
Just laugh until he. So about that information, it'd be great to have it.
All right, I'll see what I can do. And he kind of goes up to the bar and like asks to use their phone. And you see he makes a call and he kind of makes some conspiratorial looks kind of left and right, and then dials a number and like looks very entranced and talks seriously with someone, and then hangs up the phone and kind of saunters back over to you. It's like, well, I might have found a little bit of information, but...
Oh, pray tell.
Well, first, I'd love a little promise that I might get to see you more.
Oh, Cassius, we were just never meant to be, but I'm sure I can go for... Well, if you've got your next gym practice, I'm still at the old boxing ring, so maybe we can meet there.
That would be lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, in that, with the promise of more to come, let me tell you about these birds.
Oh, do tell. And I get out my sheet music. Right. Like...
Have you ever heard of a blue-spotted Clive?
Oh, they're so blue and spotted.
We got a red-billed tickler, giant horned thumper, and there was that one. It was a great twanging warbler.
Oh, of course.
Oh, that seems to be the top picks for all them birdie folks or whatever.
Good to know. Thank you, Cassius.
You're so welcome. Looking forward to seeing you at that boxing ring.
Not if I see you first. And I just back out like... slide back on some sort of casters, essentially.
Incredible. You've got the names of the birds.
Yeah, I come back and I'm like, there we go. Whew.
Excellent work.
This is a long lunch.
For narrative convenience, can we say that you return and Arkwright's just sitting there with like 2 branded cameras from the Coq de Monde gift shop that I've just sent him to bill to the room.
Incredible, yeah. Fantastic. Okay, so you have how many cameras?
Well, how many are you going to let us have, Zach?
I'm going to let you buy cameras for 40 readies each.
I'm not investing.
It's a material benefit to you winning. I think you have to use some of the resources.
And the resource that I'm going to use is my scene cue
Oh.
called I'll give you an IOU.
Amazing.
Where,
Tell me about it.
I mean, they know I'm good for it.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah. Will Daddy question fees? That is a problem for future Dora. And look, when we win this competition, we'll have enough money to probably pay it all off. I haven't done the math. Math is difficult.
It's this endeavor will cost us 10 readies more than we'll be winning. No, okay.
One finger on your ginger mustache.
Yeah, well, okay.
So how many are you buying? 4?
Do it.
Yeah, go on then.
Do it.
4 cameras. Perfect.
Aren't they enormous in the 20s?
Yes!
They're huge.
You have to go underneath a
How many
blanket.
of these people do you reckon are going to be able to use the camera?
Well, that's what I'm like. Surely 2 is like it's a 2-man job.
But Liz, that's Liz thinking. Dora's
That's-
thinking.
yeah.
That's true. Dora's
Yeah.
like 7 cameras. Let's go.
Yes,
We're
in
gonna-
case
I
one
think
breaks.
it's 4 cameras.
Okay, 4 cameras. Yeah,
I think
you're
it's
right. Shut up,
definitely
Liz.
4 cameras. 120 readies charged
Oh.
to the room. Incredible stuff.
For 4, it would be 160.
Quite right. 160.
And we're winning 150, so we're already in the
Oh,
red.
crap it, we're making a deal.
Okay, sorry. I believe that's 120. Good sir.
I like to think that all my haggling is just because I can't do the math. And you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's 120. Brilliant.
And Arkwright's doing the precise math in the
Yes.
background, just like, no, that's not right. That's very incorrect.
Absolutely. Okay, so I presume we're going to head over to the Jamboree now. Fabulous. So the right great and magnificent birdwatching jamboree takes place as always in Eventide Park, which is the grand sprawling park of Peccadillo. Think of something between the biggest London parks meets Central Park. There's a lake that spans the middle of it. There are various different amenities like botanical gardens. There's like a theme park area. There's a zoo. There's even a university that like spans one end of the park. So this is an enormous affair, and the Jamboree is meeting just on the edge of one of the lakes. Assembled, you see bunting and streamers flown about. You see various smiling faces of members of the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds, many different well-to-do and aristocrats in throngs, kind of clapping politely, there to observe the events of the day. You see a couple of individual entrants to the competition, but there are no other societies or teams entering the competition on this day. Just you and the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds. You see up on a podium is Duchess Taylor Wessing, who is about to present the kickoff to the day. But is there anything that you've done on the journey here or in the lead up to getting here to give you any edge before the competition starts?
I suspect that there will be a number of actual bird experts involved in this. Not
Correct.
wealthy
Ornithologists,
maniacs.
yes.
Yes. And not just like who will have been doing the actual work. And I would like to utilize whims and fancies in order to create an NPC in order to fulfill an unreasonable request.
Good.
And I would like to get some actual bird information about where these birds might be in the park and what they might be doing.
Amazing. Tell me who this NPC is, and we'll act out the scene.
I think it's Bernard Scrimp, a very underpaid ornithologist working for a large jamboree that perhaps does not necessarily appreciate
Yep.
him very well. And I would like to sort of slip in with the you know, the working folk and try and track down Bernie, and under the assumption that I'll run in. Did I say
you
Bernie?
said Bernard.
What did I say? Bernard.
Bernard, yeah.
That try and find Bernard and see if I could just gather some actual
Incredible. I don't believe
information.
with the scene keys you have to roll for them. These are just things you enact.
Yes, you create the NPC you need at that moment and place them in the city.
That's a great scene cue.
And possibly some photos of these actual birds that I can use for comparison.
Incredible. So you find this scruffy-looking man who's like got this wizened white beard, the thickest Coke rim glasses, just this thick but curled at the ends mustache, and just kind of looks tired and wizened, and just being finished given an order by the Duchess Taylor Wessing, like, yes, go, we need to prepare the competition, we're about to begin. And she walks away and leaving Bernard on his own.
Long day, Bernard.
Oh, you're telling me.
No, I know.
Oh, how's it going, Arkwright?
Oh, I'm afraid my employer has once again found herself deeply invested in this.
Don't they always?
Yes. Look, I was wondering if I could call in a favor.
Oh.
Well, just it strikes me that not many of these competitors are great and are wealthy. Don't actually know anything about birds. Like, not really anything at all.
Why are they entering the competition if they don't know anything about birds?
You know, it's an astoundingly good question.
I'll endeavor to give you.
Look, I was just wondering if you could give me any information on sort of the behaviors of these birds. What are we to expect? The ones that we're really looking for.
Oh, well, dash them all, I suppose. Right, so you need to know what to do. Right. Few things to take into account. It's rather a free-for-all, this one.
Right. Sounds about right.
Sending them all out into the park. Whoever gets all 4 birds first wins, whatever, I don't care. But
Right.
The important thing to remember is the locations of each of these birds. The birds that we've selected are hyper territorial and stay put in certain areas of the park.
Thoroughly convenient, thank you. Any particular locales?
Right. Do you want me to give it all away? I suppose.
No, it's just
No,
vague
God,
brushes. If
So,
you
you're gonna love this one, Arkwright.
could. Right.
One of them only lives on the island in the middle of the lake.
Oh no.
That's excellent.
Look
great.
forward to that one.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much, Bernard. I'm much appreciated, and the rest presumably dotted throughout the woodlands.
Botanical Gardens, the theme park, you'll find them. Keep an eye on the other contestants as well.
For their safety, or
Oh, and he puts a finger on the side of his nose, and says, "Oh, and you might want to brush up on your sense of direction."
Oh, don't worry. I'll purchase a map from
Perfect. Yes, keep an eye on those society lot, the violent bunch.
Violent. The Royal Society for the Protection of Birds is violent.
Don't take their coy demeanor as rote. Arkwright, you and me know better. These are a bunch of flouncy lot with too much money and too much time. The competition means everything to them.
Funded by the bloody royalty as well. You're all right, old chap. Do you need a lozenge?
I should have another cigarette.
A cigarette would probably be more helpful. Well, thank you, Bernard. Much appreciated. I shall bear all this in mind. Try not to get yourself snowed under, eh?
I'll try my best.
Great. Then I shall rejoin the throng of contestants. I would imagine.
Amazing. So you've been given a rough idea about a few of the locations, and he's very kind of tried to tell you with the tap of his nose about one of the other ones.
Got it.
So, are we ready for the competition begin, or are there any other actions happening here?
I do nothing to prepare because I assume bird hunting's very easy because I'm rich and everything comes easy. So
Naturally.
Yeah.
Naturally.
I think Figgy's going to do two things to prepare. One, she's going to have tweed pockets full of birdseed. Clearly very helpful.
Ooh, that's
Very
good.
helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
For the second, I would like to use my Toast of the Town scene cue and just arrange. I mean, I'm going to take down, by which I mean some faceless servants are going to take down some of the mid-range bottles from the basement in the homestead, and just like set up that with some cucumber sandwiches, like set up a little bit of a table. And so if I read out what Toast of the Town, you're the life and soul of the party. Your personality is practically intoxicating, and everyone around you celebrates with reckless abandon. So for some of the less serious birders, I'm going to try and distract them by getting them all drunk so that they stop competing.
Yes.
Oh my good lord.
Yes.
Okay, amazing. So you see, again, before you arrive, someone, Lord knows who, has set up this immaculate spread of finger sandwiches, but primarily bottles of high vintage wine and spirits. And the key thing is there is not enough food on the table to account for the amount of alcohol that is there. And I will say, you spy now with a lot of the single entrants to the competition, the kind of throngs of amateur ornithologists very much go in on the wine. A lot of these people are less well-to-do and wealthy and are just in it for the fun and the hobby. And so when the wine is out, take the fucking opportunity. And so go in on the wine and kind of ignore the finger sandwiches. You do see that one of the entrants, the single entrance, is actually this young little girl.
Oh.
She's about maybe 13 years old. And actually, could I get a roll for, I'm going to say, culture and etiquette of recognizing someone?
Ooh.
Yeah, no, let's take her down. Don't care who she is.
2 successes, so yes.
Nice.
Oh, fantastic. You would recognize this Figgy as actually one of your neighbors. This is young Viscountess Nellie Lee. She is a avid bird watcher. She's kind of an indoor kid, even though bird watching is such an outdoor activity. She does a lot of it looking out of the windows of her manor estate, where her parents are very often not there, and she's left in the care of various servants and members of the staff. She's got the pallid complexion, really dark hair, and she's just she's obviously not going in on the wine, but taking some of the sandwiches and flicking through this encyclopedia of birds that she's brought from home. It's very sweet.
Sweet.
And you're going to destroy this child.
Yes.
Yes.
Crush her.
Yes.
But yeah, you see her going about. You also see that there is a professor who, when offered the wine, is no, couldn't possibly touch the stuff. I've got to keep sharp. And this, I would say all of you are vaguely aware of this man. He is Professor Ramsbottom. He is of the Eventide University that is off the park. in fact, Dora, you would recognize this person as star of stage and screen, Wanda Scoggins, who you did not know was in fact a bird watcher, but has turned out today and is signing a couple autographs and is distracted from the table. They're all individual entrants. You also see Lord Sanjay not being distracted by the wine, and his...
As soon as I see him, I smack Arkwright's glasses off of his face.
Oh, heck, what? Why?
And you see his second in command, Dame Pippa Basil Weather, is there as well. Kind of this very stocky, broad-shouldered woman, like ready for action. Kind of stood next to him again, like eyes, fucking cold eyes, dead ahead stares, ready for action. Yeah, but most of these single entrants are occupied at this stage. So you've taken out a brunt of the competition, I'd say.
Good job, Figgy.
Ooh, drinkies.
Oh no!
What, now, hold on.
So up on a podium, on kind of a little elevated stage area under this gorgeous willow tree, you see with a sash on, Duchess Taylor Wessing get up on stage. She's one of the primary benefactors of the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds, and she begins to address the crowd. Hello, one and all, to the 42nd annual Right Great and Magnificent Birdwatching Jamboree! And there's a huge uproar from the crowd, and like a big like drunken wail from all the various different entrants who are like a bit messy at this stage. Lovely to have all of you here. We are here to raise funds for the wonderful Royal Society for the Protection of Birds in our endeavor to make sure that the natural habitats of these fabulous creatures is kept preserved. More applause.
Boo. We do not applaud.
Yeah.
Are we the baddies?
We're the baddies.
Now, I know you're all wondering just what birds you'll all be searching for today. Now, this has been a closely guarded secret that we've only kept to ourselves and various members of the staff, of course. Now, cameras at the ready, everyone. The competition is about to begin. Now, today you'll be searching for 4 immaculate birds that can be found in their own different habitats around this wonderful park. First of all, you're looking for the great twanging warbler, the red-billed tickler, the giant horned thumper, and finally the blue-spotted Clive. And with that, let the competition begin! And there is a pistol shot fired in the air. Everyone
Pigeon
scrambles.
falls out of the sky.
Pigeon falls out of the sky.
But gets
and
back
the
up, it's fine.
competition begins.
I like the fact that Mel will be like, well, it's right. And I throw away that piece of information and I got from Cassius. He was telling the truth.
And that is where we're going to end this episode today. In the meantime, please, could everyone tell the audience at home where they can be found online? And please do check out all these fabulous folks who are here and keep listening to What Am I Rolling, this fabulous show about many different role-playing systems. If you want to learn a new role-playing system, this could not be the better place to do it. So many systems and such a wonderful time. So, starting with, we'll go Jane again. Could you let people know where you can be found online?
Brilliant, thank you very much, and thank you, Fiona, for hosting. You can find me on all good social medias near you at Jane Hermiston.
Fiona, could you go next?
Of course. So when I'm not playing my favourite Spice Girl. Naturally, when I like to swing it, move it, make it, all that sort of thing. You can find me on What Am I Rolling, which is this wonderful podcast. I also run the DM's Book Club, which is a weekly D&D podcast. I'm all about all the good lore and stuff like that. But if you're like, sod that, just come out, check What Am I Rolling, because that's all where all the fun RPGs are. And you can find them wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm also an improviser, so if you find me online, I'm probably running some RPG for improviser workshops, which have been going down really, really well. That is all for me, actually, and I'll pass it back to Zach.
Fabulous. James, do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. My name's James Barbarossa. You can find me on Twitter at BarbarossaPhone, where I post the music that I produce for Realms of Peril and Glory and various other podcasts. But, you can also find me on Realms of Peril and Glory itself, which is an excellent podcast that Zach and I and Liz are frequent performers of. We also do tabletop role-playing games of various stripes, and it's an excellent time, so you should check it out.
Liz, do you want to go next?
Yeah, I've been Liz Campbell. You can find me on the internet at Liz X Campbell. That's Liz, the letter X Campbell. Or, as James said, you can find me on Realms of Peril and Glory. We also do a whole range of tabletop games, from indie to established, fully sound design, and with original music, which is Zach and James and their wonderful talents. Thank you, Fiona, for letting us come and play.
Thanks for agreeing.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I, of course, have been Zach FG. You can find me on Twitter at ZACKFG and on Instagram. But please, honestly, just if you could check out Realms of Peril and Glory, it's a great show. We played lots of different game systems, from 13th Age to Cyborg, Thirsty Sword, Lesbians, Agon, and they're all fully sound designed with gorgeous original music by the one and only James Barbarossa. If you enjoy our style of comedy and improvisation, then you will definitely like the show. And I will leave it there. So please, again, keep listening to What Am I Rolling? Fabulous stuff on there. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Will the rueful spotters of pretty avians manage to outwit their rivals at the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds and somehow come out on top? Find out next time on What Am I Rolling? The What Am I Rolling podcast was created, recorded, and edited by me, Fiona Howat. This episode's players were James, Jane, Liz, and me, Fiona. This episode's guest GM was Zach from Realms of Peril and Glory. Check out Realms of Peril and Glory on their website, www.realmspod.com, or wherever you listen to podcasts. This episode's RPG was Flabbergasted, a comedic tabletop role-playing game set in the Roaring Twenties. You can find out more information about Flabbergasted and grab your own copy on the Wanderer's Tome website. That's www.wanderers-tome.com. The theme music was 8-Bit March by Twin Musicon of twinmusicon.org, licensed under a Creative Commons 4.0 license. If you want to find out more about the podcast, check out the website at www.wairpodcast.com. Fancy getting in touch? Email the podcast at whatamirollingpodcast@gmail.com. And remember, adventurers need not apply.